But it's more important to get it right. But you have to complete it.
Think about like taking a test.
Yeah.
Or like getting all the questions.
Yeah.
But it's more of a
But yeah, it's more important.
No Benjamin either.
Golf. Oh yeah, it's golf. Food. That's about it. You know the front nine still? I told them we should just update.
Oh, really?
I love making high words for us. You're like, first hole. Just not a seven.
Ryan might wander in.
Fifth one. Jack still swinging. Dude.
Alright. So we're switching our perspective on all of these problems. Everything before had to do with the x-axis. So it was in terms of x. All the variables in your equations were x values. The left and right boundaries were x values. We got the dx. We're perpendicular to the x-axis. Now we're switched it and we're doing everything perpendicular to the y-axis. So the equations are the same. They just flip. But now, so now everything you put in this equation has to be a y value. If you notice, these look a little different than they did before. So we got a couple things to figure out here. So y equals -4. Well, let's start here. X equals 1. What kind of line is that? We got to first identify which lines are which. X equals 1 is vertical, right? So that's this guy here. What kind of line is y equals -4? Probably like a horizontal. Y equals -1. Probably like a horizontal. And so that just leaves this -3/y² must be this guy here. Okay. So your game changes now. You need a bottom and a top because we're not thinking like vertically anymore. We're thinking horizontally. So you need a bottom boundary. So it's going to go like, yeah. We need a bottom boundary and a top boundary. And that's what the y values are going to be. So -4 and -1. So this is your boundary. So bottom and top. And then we're going to go right minus left times dy. So let me convince you before we move on that right minus left actually works. I don't care if you believe me. I'm going to prove it to you anyways. Good. How far apart are these 2 points? 3. How'd you get that? Top minus 5 minus 2. Right minus left. How far apart are these 2 points? 4. How'd you get that? Right minus left. 2 minus -2. I know you get my point. I'm going to do it anyways. How far apart are those 2? 6. -2 minus -8. So when you're looking sideways, the distance between 2 things is always right minus left. So you've got a right-hand equation here, right hand, and a left-hand equation here. So your right-hand equation is 1. Okay, so the bottom is -4, top is -1. The right hand is 1, and the left hand is -3/y². And then you would type that in and get your answer. You type them in the same way. You just put y values instead of x values. So we get your calculator. Make sure we can do this right. Questions on what I set up there while you guys are getting your computers up? Yeah.
So, in both cases, do you integrate from the more negative value
integrate. What's up? That 3 column can hit integrate. And then I'm going to type in 1 minus, and you're actually typing the y. So 1 minus negative 3y, negative 3 divided by y to the second, and then comma y, because you're using a different variable, so you got to like divide the calculator. Here's my equation, comma y. Ryan's late because he didn't realize he lived far away from our school. Did not know how to like do math to go backwards in time. I get 21 fourths, which is 5.25. So if you got that, good. If you didn't, let me know so I can fix whatever you put in your calculator. All right. Oscar doesn't show up anymore, so I'm joking.
Yeah, it's been in
Is that a club basketball?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know.
He's really good at snow. IDK.
Are you guys getting 21 points?
Yeah.
You able to type it in and get the answer?
Yeah. He said it's
I don't know what that means. I don't know what to make of that. Questions on number 1 here before I go on to number 2, because they do get a little tougher. They can get a little tougher. We got on 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, all of a sudden we got a little more confusing picture. So I know this is y equals 6. I know this is y equals 2. But if you remember from before, there might be an intersection point in the middle. So you're going to have to go to your calculator and say solve negative y to the second divided by 2 plus 4y minus 7 equals y squared divided by 2 minus 2y minus 2 comma y. That's going to tell you where they intersect, which I believe it should tell you 2, 5, and 6. This is 5, right? It has to be. Make sure you know how to do it. You're actually like looking at the graph. Do that solver. Make sure you get 2, 5, and 6. You got what? 1 or 5?
Should be only 2, right?
Well, yeah, but like the ones that
Oh yeah. I don't care about the 1. Why not? Because it's not between 2 and 6. So we're only looking between 2 and 6 for any extra points. So I know the 2 and the 6. I care about the 5 because it's in between those two numbers. I don't care about the 1 because it's not.
Wait, what? The 6. Like a 6.
The 6 is the boundary they provided for me. It's like the top of the shape.
Yeah, but like in your equation. Shouldn't it be in the equation?
So, hold on. I want to solve where they intersect. The solver told me 1 and 5. But I know that I'm looking between.
Oh, you just added it.
I added it after. I know I'm looking between 2 and 6. So I'm like adding the 6 separately. Are you good then? Okay. So we've got to set up 2 integrals. We did this before with x's. We're just doing with y's now. So from 1 to 5 is one integral. From 5 to 6 is the other integral. And we have to figure out which one is on the right and which one is on the left. If you guess wrong, what's going to happen? You're going to get negative, and you would just like flip them. And this is the thing where you can say like, okay, this is A, and this is B. If you want to know for real which one's on which side, plug in a number. So if I plug in like 4 for y, plug it in a y value. If I plug in 4 to this top one, I'll get negative 16 over 2, so negative 8 plus 16, so 8 minus 7, I got a y value. When I plugged 4 into this one, I got an x value of 1. So this equation is A, which means this one must be B. Yes. Yeah. But then I have it here, is that weird? Yeah, it just shouldn't be there. So they told me 2 to 6. I'm looking for any solutions that are in between that. I thought 5. And the 1 I should just, like, I'd really just cross it off there. So between 2 and 5, A is on the right. So I'm going to go A minus B times dy. I'm going to type it in to make sure it's a positive number. If it's not, I would flip it. And then the other one would be B minus A. You guys see what I'm doing, where I'm going, how it's working? I don't say anything, so I'm not sure. Alright. Question on 2 there? So that was like the 2 most confusing kinds, or the 2 major kinds, I guess. Does I mean keep going, or you want to work? Try you never want to keep going. He's a what? He wants me to quit. He's a fighter. He wants to fire me. So how's you guys work? Please ask if I can help. We're just gonna build like the same couple things we did before. So tomorrow we'll revolve this around an axis. The next day we'll do cross sections. And after that you'll have a test on all of this stuff. But the SAT kind of wrecks the timing. I don't know when that's gonna be. Like you guys will come to class Wednesday and Thursday, but I'll be proctoring somewhere else. We won't really have class Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday we're off school. I cannot make that decision for you, young Jack.
But I thought senior year had.
Is that seen a picture one of the days?
Wednesday you have to be here in the morning, and then
Okay.
Thursday.
You said that.
They say the regular
No.
schedule.
That's way more.
Well, like I can't start anything into our classes, so I have to.
That's what I thought. There's
What? That card you
Yeah, I
would
go
look
with
at.
that one. I'd go all the way through Tuesdays. Okay, then go to school.
I mean, they turn away your business. They turn away your money. If you're what you say.
Yeah, just go to Toledo.
Gilmore,
Yeah.
did you solve them?
Oh, no, I don't solve them.
You don't solve
You
them.
told me I only accept them for the test.
I said some of the tests. What I said. Some you left.
Oh, I can solve them.
Yeah, you didn't type it in the cow.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
See, now you're gonna come over and harass Devin, who's on number 3.
Oh.
Which is fine. That's not meant to shame you.
Yeah, it is.
Gilmar is aggressively interfering with your education. Would you just like start going all outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like looked up and I was like, oh, why?
These get hard when, so again, like it's not as bad. I'm like, here's what we're doing today, do this today, right? But when I start mixing all these up, and some around X, and some around Y, it does get messy. Yes.
Well, you're salt.
Yep. Right with that one. I agree. You run it back.
Dude. Oh yeah, what would you get the gateway?
Yeah, but he finished it really fast.
I nerfed it.
I should have looked over it. And I didn't.
Because you're all you just want to race.
That's why I was doing this in first class. I finished the test.
Okay, well that class was
He is a little. I love that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not.
And then you get mad.
No, Zach.
Who's the one kid who bought cookies?
Oh,
David Flynn.
Yeah.
And different types of peanut butter. Yep. Dude, some of those peanut butter. Oh, Jack. Yeah.
No,
The ice cube.
it was ice cube bagel, actually.
Ice cream bagel.
No. Ice cube.
Yeah.
Oh, ice.
Yeah.
Why is it key?
Just like
Because you're not supposed to pronounce it.
I don't know what that is.
Easy. You know what that is? Yes.
I don't know what that is.
What?
Do you know what baby cheese is?
Is that the one that's like Kendrick's cousin or something?
Yep, his nephew.
Yeah.
Probably that. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's probably.
He's actually really good.
Alright.
Honestly, I thought that you did this yesterday. Best experience of my life.
Where?
And imagine.
Really?
Yeah, I had work yesterday,
What,
right?
actually?
And I worked from like
You got 10 seconds to tell this story.
work from 5 to 10, alright? And then the manager was like, you know what, you don't have to do 3. I was like, that's great. And I watched him.
Well done, well done. I'm gonna need you to go sit down and stop distracting students that are trying to complete their work.
I think it's third room.
Please send him to the office.
I can if you
Up
want
to
me
the
to.
1/3.
Third root of what? When you, typing it into the 1/3 power, yeah.
So wait, y squared to the third root of y squared would be y to the 2/3 power?
Yes.
Isn't the same.
Insanely easy.
Yeah.
And then you do nothing but. So why are you doing that?
I did it all.
Using absolute value.
It's always a good
Use an
thing.
absolute value at the right time.
It's just term two.
Oh,
Like, scratch terms, so like
What do you say?
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
like,
like,
you know,
but I don't know why.
everyone's.
Yeah.
Why?
Is there an absolute value one on here?
No, I'm just making it manual. So I don't have to make it negative.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot my. Then we. Why would you do that?
Oh, they don't intersect.
Yeah, remember if they don't intersect, you just use the two that were given. What do you hate? The intersections?
Yeah.
Like when you're driving down the road, like a road crosses?
Yeah.
You hate that?
Deb, you probably are bad at roundabouts. No,
Do you hate roundabouts? I like
So
roundabouts.
that's the thing about this.
that's what someone yields to, right?
Like sometimes I'm like.
Like when someone's on your left and then they stop and wait for you.
Like in the middle of the roundabout, they stop and wait for you? Never seen that. That would be ridiculous.
Then they started going and then you saw them.
like, so I started going, thinking he was gonna go. And he just starts going straight. And I'm like, oh. But, yeah,
Did you go in front of him or did he go in front of you?
I went in front of him.
We had a snowbank.
Well, they probably. My driving school.
Yeah, Trent, you really put up my life. I think.
Thanks for saving Jack's life.
Yeah. And Ryder. And Luke. And Zach.
Good.
Trent's like, okay.
It was good.
Go straight, right?
Oh, so we went about 30 feet into the grass.
Really? You really went into the pond.
So we can check. Wait. So,
I was like, oh. And then we just all sat and just watching the trucks.
so you switched the
I
order and
I
then you
actually
came
already
out.
like years history.
No, I didn't know you were.
So I can
Yeah,
check
I
this.
barely
I don't
did.
need to guess on this one because
That's
this is
true.
true.
I thought I almost I was in prior. I'm
I'm gonna tell. The cube.
And I was like, dude, this actually
So
Yeah,
from
so funny.
negative 0, it should be a minus b.
Like in my head.
No, it shouldn't be. No, it should be b minus a. So. You have no questions. So you have to subtract this entire quantity. Which would make the negative sign like distribute through and then change the sign. You know what I'm saying? Put a plus in there. 16 thirds. So it's 76 thirds. That's fine.
I'm about to start waking up.
Oh,
They got so early. Shower like? No, dude, that might hair. If I know when the that's true.
She's sweet.
I just started to do that. So you don't eat music downstairs shower? See money low.
See money low. See money low.
No, I do. So obviously got the right. You freaked us out that we recorded 98 cents. I got the right. She's like, that was. Well, actually, okay. I was just waiting.
Really?
I got out of the big brother.
You want to do right minus that?
I killed him.
Oh,
I wonder which one. How are you on nine?
this one.
You just knock all the things.
Yeah, already sold.
Do you not like write stuff?
Basically,
Yeah.
You do in your head.
Starting at why?
I don't know.
Really?
You
That's
say
not
this
good, Chad.
word.
He's like, you just
Area,
did cap.
yeah.
Now you're capturing.
Yeah, it does look like that.
I literally did it for
Make that make sense.
It's all done.
Yeah.
It works. It
Get
just
it.
Stop.
disconnects me all.
Seven, how many times a day do you stretch?
No.
How many times a day do you stretch?
BC is like a full year of
That's good.
actual
That's more than
college.
that's why I tried to
It's
say.
like
actually, I
two
chose
semesters worth.
Oh,
AB
okay.
is like a semester
I get that.
plus a third of a semester maybe.
Try to stretch right now.
get a full.
What'd you say, Mackenzie?
No,
Did you say we're not learning anything?
no, I didn't say it.
Sounded like you said that. You wanna fight?
Fight.
There's no bullying.
Yeah,
You bullied me. I'm just responding, but I should respond in a more mature, professional adult way.
No.
That's up to the teacher.
But you're in high school.
I'm pretty good.
you gotta ask them, Dave, there's a question.
Yeah.